Okay, amazing. Hello, Quarantine Cuties, and welcome back to Quarantine Time with the Classics starring Natalia Madeira. And who am I? That's right, your host, Natalia Madeira. Today we have day 2 of the cooking challenge. Last night, Dr. Brewer and Dr. Kalakis got to work to make those incredible recipes, so let's welcome back our guests, Dr. Kalakis and Dr. Brewer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
So, starting off with you today, Dr. Brewer, tell us what you made. What were your steps? What was your mindset going in?
I made something called cacio e pepe,
Oh,
which is a Roman pasta dish.
oh that sounds
Um,
yummy.
Sometimes it's called I've read it called Roman macaroni and cheese.
Ooh.
And it's very simple, 5 ingredients. It's pasta. Um, oh, there it is. It's
Ooh.
pasta, cacio e pepe, which means cheese and pepper, pepper being black pepper, salt,
Mhm.
and olive oil. And there are many different versions of this and many different opinions on what the correct way is to make it. Um, but basically what it is, or at least the way I made it, is you put a couple of, do you want the precise measurements? I wrote them out
As
on a
close as you
separate
can
text.
give us, but we can post that too.
Okay, well, you begin by putting about 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a medium-sized, uh, not saucepan, shallow pan, skillet. You put about a teaspoon, I like more, I put 2 teaspoons of fresh cracked black pepper into the olive oil, and you put it on medium-low just until you begin to smell the fragrance of
Mhm.
the black pepper. And then you turn the burner off and set that aside. Then you put on your pasta. And it's, I guess, traditionally made with spaghetti. I had, what is that, linguine.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter as long as you have like a long pasta. And even then, your viewers, if they want to try it, could experiment with all different kinds of pasta. Um, but you make the pasta not in a big kettle, not in a big pot full of water, but actually in a shallow skillet as well, because you really don't need big pots of water to make pasta. And what you really want is the pasta water, which is starchy, which is important to have in this recipe. So you cook your pasta a little bit less than al dente, um, which means sort of firm to the bite.
Mhm.
And then you have your grated cheese on the side. And the classic recipe has pecorino romano in it, which I didn't have, but I had Parmigiana Reggiano. Although I read that you can even use craft grated Parmesan from your pantry if you had it. So you've prepared the pasta uh, with all that good pasta water. So then you take that off the heat, you put the skillet with the olive oil and the pepper back on the heat. You put a couple of spoonfuls of the pasta water in it, and then you mix it around. And then you take your tongs and you transfer your pasta um, from the pasta skillet to the skillet with the olive oil and the pepper and the pasta water. You put your grated Parmesan in there, which is about 2 ounces. So that's by weight, not by volume, which matters, I guess. And then you take a fork, not your tongs, but a fork, and you stir it vigorously, stir vigorously, because you're trying to create an emulsification. You're trying to, and you science people should know what that means. You're trying to get
I know.
nope, you're trying to get the water, the liquid and the oil and the cheese to combine, to blend. And so you do that, and you want it to be slightly runny. You don't want it to be sticky. So when it looks like it's getting to be too sticky, then you put a little bit more pasta water in it, and you keep vigorously turning, stirring, 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 stirring. And then it just sort of, if you're doing it right, it all just sort of magically comes together. And it looks like, can you show the other picture with the two, Right, so you can see in the skillet, it looks kind of drippy, right? It's not like it's not sauce that's glomming onto the pasta. It's still a little bit runny, and that's how you want it. And then you serve it with a little bit more fresh Parmesan, and you sprinkle a little bit more pepper on it, and you eat it. And I ate that plate, and then I went straight to the skillet and ate the rest of it out of the skillet. It's so good. It is so good. So that's my recipe.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Brewer.
Oh, you're welcome.
I honestly should try this since I'm really, really bad at cooking and I mainly eat like fast food and junk food. So I should try my hand at it. Let's see.
It's
I would
supposed
be
to be
interested.
a simple dish.
Wait, Mr. Sweeney, you cook too?
Yeah,
yeah.
but I was saying I would be happy to see you try to make this, because I feel like we should live stream it or something.
I mean, it probably wouldn't end up well, but like I could try.
You start
It probably
somewhere.
wouldn't be perfect. So we'll see. But thank you, Dr. Brewer. I can tell that you are really dedicated to your cooking. So,
Well, I like to eat, so yes.
period. So moving on to our next contestant,
Yes.
Dr. Kolakis. Tell us what you made. How'd you make it?
Okay, I made 3 different kinds of shortbread cookies.
Oh,
Yes, I like shortbread because, okay, there's my first plate. That's rosemary and Parmesan shortbread. You said yesterday that maybe not everybody wants sweets. So this is my savory variety of shortbread. What the general formula is the same for all of these. It's a stick of butter here, just to show you, to a cup of flour, and a cup of grated cheese. Interestingly, I also used Parmesan, freshly grated for this recipe. And then I cut up a couple, about a tablespoon of fresh rosemary, put it all in the food processor. You cut up the butter, put the flour and the cheese in there, turn on the motor, and it should all come together into a nice soft dough. If it doesn't, you can add a little bit of water. Okay, and if you don't have the food processor, you can certainly mix this all together by hand until it's all nicely combined. I then rolled it into a couple of logs, left them in the refrigerator for a couple of hours till they were nice and firm and easy to slice, and baked it in a 325-degree oven for approximately 40 minutes. So that's my savory shortbread. And the other 2 are both sweet. Okay.
oh wow.
Or for those of you who can't get enough chocolate, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same basic formula. You're a stick of butter to every cup of flour. Now for this one, I used 2 sticks of butter, 1.5 cups flour, and 1/2 cup of cocoa. That's unsweetened cocoa. And same thing, mix it all together in the food processor or by hand. And this one I put into a 9-inch square baking pan, patted it down nicely till it was all evenly distributed, pricked the dough on top with a fork, and again bake it in the 325 oven for 40 minutes. And when it comes out, be sure to cut it up into squares right away, because if you wait too long, it'll be harder, and I mean, it'll firm up and it'll not look as nice when you cut it. And yes, I also, because I had them around, but you don't have to, I melted some white chocolate chips and spread it on a few of the half of some of the cookies, and also some crushed candy cane on those. And in the background, I put some things you can also add to these cookies to vary the flavors. A little bit of vanilla. You can use a quarter of a cup of cornstarch for a quarter cup of the flour. You can put in spices, ginger, cinnamon, whatever you have around. I had some rainbow sprinkles, so I used those on the next batch of cookies you're going to see. You can replace, oh, I should mention also there's a half a cup of sugar in those, but you can also replace part of the white sugar with dark or light brown sugar if you like a little bit of caramelly flavor in there. They might not work as well with chocolate, but I'm showing you a lemon and an orange there. You can grate the peel and add that. And also you can put in some ground nuts, whatever, toasted, whatever you happen to have around. Okay, and could we see the final picture there? Yeah, it's a basic vanilla recipe. Again, it's the 2 sticks of butter, 2 cups of flour, half a cup of sugar, blend it all together in the food processor or by hand, and pat it in the 9-inch pan. I should mention, if you happen to have parchment paper around, you might want to cut out a few rectangles of it and put them at the bottom of the pan. If you haven't, aluminum foil will work just as well to make it easier to get the cookies out of the pan. So again, you bake them at for 40 minutes at 325 degrees and slice them up as soon as they're out of the oven. And for these, I melted a chocolate bar and spread that over part of them, and added some rainbow sprinkles to make them a little bit fancier. So those are my 3 kinds of cookies with some variations shown in the background.
I'm truly astonished. Thank you, Dr. Kalakis.
I just have to send my dad this entire video so he can recreate these recipes.
I want to like beg my mom, but I feel like she'll say no.
Oh, why don't you do that?
I feel like you can do it, yeah.
It's not like, I don't feel like that's a great idea.
What's the worst that could happen?
Cookies?
I mean, I've never even tried to like make anything. Like literally, I mean, I've like microwaved things, but I've never actually like cooked anything myself.
Well, it's about time.
I should
Natalia, you can't put a stick of butter with flour and sugar and mix it.
I mean, I could try.
I think you could.
I could ask my mom to help me though.
I think what you should do is start with the pasta dish and then have the shortbread for dessert. Do them both.
I mean, I would eat like dessert at any time of like the day. So like I could eat it first. Like it wouldn't really be that big of a deal to me. The pasta dish looks delicious though.
Dr. Brewer, would you have the rosemary savory ones with the pasta?
That sounds like a good idea.
I feel like you could do that.
Yeah, I like the savory option. 40 minutes sounds like a long time.
Well, 325 is not a high temperature. That's what I thought at first, but they're pretty thick. So, well, you can start checking them earlier and take them out when they're starting to get brown.
Right. No, yeah, the savory, certainly. You could have the savory with a lot of things. But
Yeah.
those just look fantastic.
I agree.
Okay, so we just wanted to remind you guys at home what the rules for this challenge are. So both of our contestants, they limited the number of ingredients to 5, and they both made awesome dishes that I can't even make myself. We are going to include a Google form in the description of this video, so be sure to vote, and we will be back tomorrow to reveal the winner.
And what could they win?
Classic t-shirt.
A great classic t-shirt.
A t-shirt.
That's right. So, our YouTube channel, THHS Classic TV, is almost at 500 subscribers. And we deserve a lot more than that. So if you can show us the kindness in your hearts, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch Quarantine Time even more. Okay, and now what are we doing?
And vote tonight.
Oh, vote. Yes. Like Samantha just said, please remember to vote. So one of these incredible contestants can win a free classic t-shirt that they could wear for the rest of their lives and on Spirit Week next year. If you're feeling brave, try one of these 2 dishes. Wait, they got to send photos to the classic? Okay, send photos, videos, whatever you want to thhhsclassic@gmail.com. And you could also be put in the running to win a free classic t-shirt.
A dog.
Excellent.
Period.
Yes.
So exciting.
All right. Thank you, and we will see everyone tomorrow. And welcome back, dog.
Aw,
Choco.
so cute.
No, Mr. Sweeney, we've been over
Choco.
this.
Choco.
Period.
You can just say chocolate or chocolate,
Chocolate.
whichever works. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's bilingual.
Period. As he should. Wait, I always thought that he was a girl.
No,
Yeah, I think
he's a
that too.
boy.
Oh my god, I've literally been fooled for the past how many years? It's okay, he's
Right.
still very handsome.
Say bye.
Oh, I'd say bye?
Yeah, you
You're
say
welcome.
bye.
Okay. Bye, my quarantine cuties. Again, make sure to subscribe and vote, and we will see you all tomorrow with the results of the cooking challenge. Who will be the winner? We'll find out.